everyone. Off out again, as I'm sure you can tell, and this time back on the home turf in Northumberland. We've paid for a parking permit for the College Valley, just to cut off about 8 miles of the walk, just so we can get up to hopefully some of the Cheviot today. Plan is to go up by the hen hole and then scramble on the top to Braden Crag and then across to the trig point on the Cheviot. It'll be Nick's second mountain under a belt. He's already done Head Chope, so he's done the trig point on that one, and this one will be Northumberland's highest, and I think it's 815 metres on the top of the Cheviot, so hopefully it's an interesting walk. Nick's got a camera and everything with it today, so it's going to take some photographs of the waterfalls up at the hen hole. So I'll probably try and get them in the video at some point somewhere at the end. Got Milo out with the day, who's rather excited, should we say. So Milo's looking forward to it. On the way up here this morning when we left the house, it was nice and clear, and then we started hitting some of the valleys and stuff, and just the fog in the valleys this morning looked fantastic. And when we started heading inland into the College Valley, once we hit Heathpool, it cleared up. So hopefully by the time we get to the top, it might be a little bit of inversion in some of the other valleys, which might make for some interesting photographs. But we'll see. Depends how long it takes to get to the top. But it's definitely getting towards that time of year where we've got a lot of cloud inversions, so hopefully be out early morning or some wild camping coming up soon. Might get some nice cloud inversions and some sunrises. We'll just have to see how we get on. Every time I seem to say going out wild camping, I never get, or the weather changes, or it's too strong winds, and then you're in a valley, you're not getting any views, so I tend to just kind of put it back. But we'll see how we get on. So I think in the meantime we're just going to push on straight to the hen hole, and I'll bring you back when we get there. So just making my way from the beaten trail across to the hen hole, and I thought I'd film the river crossings just as a bit of B-roll, and you've probably already seen, if not you will see depending on where I put it in the video, Nick decided to show us a little quick swimming lesson, decided to jump in, and it was that moment when you're watching through the back of a GoPro. Has she hurt herself? Is this planned? Is this just for views on YouTube? And she hasn't hurt herself, which is a good thing, because it'll be a lot of moaning in the car on the way back. And I did react fairly quickly. I let the drama unfold a little bit, but at least I helped her up this time. So I was just worried about the camera there. So luckily the bag's protected the camera the way it should, so fingers crossed we'll still get some nice photographs today up the waterfalls at the hen hole. But we're just going to keep plodding on through the grass and everything to the beginning of the waterfall. And I've got the drone with us today, so I'll hopefully get a few drone flights as well. Might try and fly it up the valley a little bit. We'll see how we get on though. It's calm and still in the valley at the moment, and there's a good wall of fog behind us at Acheld, and next to our Geoffrin monument. You couldn't see that this morning, but as I said earlier, once you get into Heathpool it kind of brightens up. Clouds seem to be moving pretty fast above the Cheviot, so like I say, I might get some drone footage from the valley. Don't know about the top of the Cheviot, hoping to, but we'll see how we'll get on with that. As we're walking up there, I just seen 2 sets of ears sticking up out of the grass, and it looks like 2 young deer. So I thought now's maybe a good time, get the drone out, get it up to 100 metres and be able to like get a bird's eye view with these two deer laying low in the grass. They look like young deer from a distance, but when I've come to get the drone out, for some reason the app won't start, and I've got no data signal to have a look at what it could be, or to uninstall and reinstall to fly it. Come here, son. So without being able to uninstall and reinstall, I don't know if we'll get any drone flights today, which is a bit of a kicker, because that would be a perfect opportunity. Just means another visit. But Nick's put a bigger lens on a camera and just currently making her way across to see if she can get close enough to get a photograph. So hopefully she's getting some nice photographs. If she's got some nice photographs, I'll put them up for you. Actually, there's 3 deer. One's spooked, the other 2 are sitting there. Looks like 3 young. So fingers crossed she's got some nice photographs. It's been an eventful day so far. Hopefully some nice photographs from deer. Nick taking a swimming lesson. So yeah, I'll put the photographs in if she gets any good ones, and we'll keep pushing on to the waterfalls. So, correct us if I'm wrong, but I think this is one of the first of the waterfalls going up the Henhole. But we get a quick few photographs here and keep pushing on up. So we're about 2 miles in to the walk so far, and probably about 100 yards away from the second waterfall. And that's 2 miles from parking at next to Mouth Hooley Youth Hostel. Since we bought the pass, we just parked as far along as we could. And it's probably from the Heathpool car park to Mouth Hooley Youth Hostel. I think it's about 4 miles. So as you can imagine, if you're parking at the free parking, you're adding 8 miles to your day. So sometimes if you can get your hands on a day pass for the parking into College Valley, it could be well worth it. But we'll just get up here and I'll show you the next waterfall. So that's the next waterfall up, which is much larger, and it's got quite a deep plunge pool at the bottom, which we'll let the dog have a swim in. Sorry that it's a bit overexposed at the top of the waterfall, just the sun's really bright today. We'll let him have a bit of a swim and get himself a drink, and I'm sure Nick's going to be taking some photographs, and then we'll push on up again. But it's a beautiful little place, absolutely beautiful. So as you can see there, that's Milo cooling off in the middle waterfall. I think the waterfalls do have names, I just can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe I should have had a look before I came out. I think this is one of the most popular ones, especially when there's a lot of water running. I think this would look even better again. So maybe it's another trip after a few days of heavy rain, but make for some interesting photographs. So Milo's just looking for bricks for some strange reason. That's what he likes to do in the bottom of rivers. He's having himself a bit of a cool off as well, even though I think it's 12 degrees at the moment. Maybe he's up to about 13, but as we get higher the temperature's dropping still. But he's thoroughly enjoying himself, and so are we, so it's could have had the others with her, but we're hopefully going to do a scramble up to Braden Crag and then on the top of the Cheviot. So I thought definitely another one for Mister, and we'll not leave one dog on their own, so we've left Maya with him and brought the crazy one out with her. If you can hear us anyway with him making a racket in the background, but he's enjoying himself. So just pushing on from what I believe is a second waterfall, which I'm sure I've seen somewhere. I think it's named the Three Sisters. I don't know if any of the video footage would have picked it up, especially with the sun being so bright. But on the top of the waterfall there seems to be 3 channels. You've got the boulder in the middle, and they've got a channel either side as well. I could be wrong, but that's what I think I've seen it called. Maybe before coming up here I should have done a little bit of homework and had a little bit of look on the Google, because it seems to be a fairly popular place. The trails and tracks up the side to the next waterfall seem to be fairly well walked, so just taking a leisurely day out, making the most of a few more days off work. And I can see another waterfall up in the distance there, so it's just such a beautiful little place. If I brought some different gear with us, I could have had a bit of a sit in one of the plunge pools and dry it off on the rocks, but there's plenty of other little waterfalls, a few foot high, plenty of little plunge pools and everything. It's just a fantastic day. We're thinking about doing this on Friday. However, Mister is at the vet's for his second Lubrella injection. So hopefully that helps him out even more and he keeps progressing and improving. And I think there was a few other things on Friday, but I'll worry about them later. By the time you see this video, it probably would have been a week or 2 past anyway. But I think the weather on Friday looks to be overcast and showers. So today was a better day, so late last night we thought, right, we'll just do it, turn up in the morning, see what happens. But chuffed a bit so far, chuffed to bits. So I'm going to put the camera away for now. It's a little bit rocky underfoot in places, so I can concentrate, and we'll get up to the next one and we'll bring us back. So I think we're now at the final waterfall, which I could be wrong because there's plenty of other little waterfalls on the way up here, but the final of the 3 main ones, should we say. There's a bit of a scramble up the left hand side of it there, so I think what we're going to do is take some photographs here, push on up the left hand side again and see what's above, and then maybe stop for lunch because it's getting on, it's now 12 o'clock now. So maybe stop for lunch before the big push to Braden Crag and then to the top of the Cheviot hopefully. And there's plenty of water around. I've got my water filter, so might be able to stop for another cup of coffee later on, depending on how the day gets on. So it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So we've just had a quick, well, I say a quick, about half an hour break there. Had something to eat, a couple of cups of coffee, and I managed to get enough data signal to try and find out what was happening with the drone app. And it appears that they've had a software update and it's damaged the app. So I've managed to uninstall the app and reinstall it from their website while halfway up the back of the Cheviot. So I've managed to have a quick little drone flight down across the top of the waterfall, the highest waterfall anyway, and hopefully the wind doesn't get too much stronger. And on the way back down, maybe try and at the lower waterfall, maybe try and fly the drone back up a little way. But we'll see how we get on with the drone. A bit disappointed at the app messed up, but I think from now on, before I leave the house in the morning or the night before, check to see if the app's working, because I think it's kind of happened a couple of times now. I've had problems with the app when I've had updates come through and everything. So we were planning on going to Braden Crag, but I've just looked at the map there and I think we're just going to have a go at going straight up towards the top of the Cheviot rather than up to Braden Crag itself, but we'll see when we get up there. But so far I think the plan is to go to the Cheviot and I'll have a look at Braden Crag another time. Oh. Terrible realisation there. Every time we do a trig point we have a mascot, a little wolf teddy called Walker. I know it sounds daft, but that's what it is, and he's done every trig point. Unfortunately I forget to put him in the bag. Oh, so yes, this trig point will now be ticked off Nick's list, but I'll probably bring Walker up at some point in the future. I believe he's already been up because I did a video with Maya going up Cheviot, so he's already been up, but we'll see. Might have to revisit this one again with our mascot. Oh, this day. I don't know what it is, I'm just forgetting things all the time now.
Fess up.
Fess up. I've made a mistake.
What's your other mistake?
No, I'm not sharing that one. Edit, delete. There's no evidence.
Why?
So yes, we'll keep pushing on and we'll see either Braden Crag or the Cheviot, but I'll let you know either way when we're there. So we've just came up from the top of the hen hole and basically took a sharp left straight up the side of the back of the Cheviot towards Braden Crag. Unfortunately, Braden Crag's, according to the maps, about a couple of kilometres, maybe it's a kilometre or so away from where we've topped, but with time getting on and everything, I think we're just going to push up to the top of the Cheviot. Maybe sometime in the future I'll come back and have a explore around Braden Crags and the other crags and things on the top there. So hopefully, I think maybe it's another 100 metres in elevation to make our way through the long grasses and the heather and everything. Most of the bogs seem to be bone dry. It's been dry for such a long time now with little to next to no rain. So next stop, the top of the Cheviot, but just got to take a moment to take in some of the views we're getting so far. So yeah, next time I see it'll be the top of the Cheviot. Another trig on the next belt for her, and for me as well. I've done it a few times, but be another one done.
Ready? Okay.
Well, that's what we made at the top of the Cheviot. Nick's second mountain and the highest one she's done so far. The highest trig point in Northumberland as well, so definitely another one off the list. Been a bit of a hard slog to get up here, but especially coming across some of the boggy parts, but with it being dry for so long, hasn't been as bad as what I thought. So I'm going to have a quick bite to eat again and then push on to Oak Corn. So just at Oak Cairn there, and stunning views, absolutely stunning. Looking over into Scotland and obviously in England as well, looking across to the Shill in the distance there, in the back of the Cheviot where we actually climbed up, and across the Braden Crags as well. So that's on the list to have an explore of another time. So I think we'll make our way down, back out the beginning of the hen hole and back to the car. So not much more filming left to do. If we had more time, we need to get back to feed the other dogs. If we had more time, I probably could have sat up here and get a lovely time lapse. The clouds rolling in now across the back of the Cheviot, as you can probably see in the distance behind us there. Back of the Cheviot, it's starting to come in quite thick with some dark clouds. I think tomorrow's forecast rain and showers, so making my way down off Oak Corn and taking a bit more of a scenic route so we can get a bit of a better view of the hen hole and everything. So this is the views in front. And these are the views which are coming off the Cheviot. So I think we're just going to push on, try and pick up the pace a little bit to get back to the entrance to the hen hole and then push onto the car. So we'll hopefully get down to the hen hole pretty quick and we'll bring us back then. So still just descending from Oak Corn there, now at the bottom of the hen hole, but with the time getting on and needing to get back to feed the other ones, as I've probably mentioned earlier. Probably just going to wrap the video up here. It's been an absolutely fantastic day, and especially with this morning, well, we've seen the 3 deer, the mother and her 2 young, standing in the grass. Nick managed to get some photographs, but we won't see what they're like until we get in the computer, so I'll probably already put them in somewhere. And then got on top of the Cheviot, and there was another mother and 2 young, and because I had the drone app working, I managed to get a flight from the drone again. But I think I was that excited, didn't hit record, or I've hit it twice, so I didn't get any footage of that, which was a shame because that looked stunning on the screen, just didn't record. And then so we're dropping back down in the valley to where I was seeing the deer this morning, and I was kind of praying that they'll be back in the valley again. And then there was a lone male up on the side of the Cheviot, so I've managed to get a flight of the drone and record it this time. So fingers crossed we'll have some footage of that. Didn't seem to be bothered by the drone at all. I did take the drone up quite high, and the drone that I use has a zoom function, so I zoomed in as well, so I'm quite far away from the deer. It looks like on the screen I'm close, but when you zoom back out I'm actually quite far away, and it didn't bother him. He kept eating, grazing, that was fine. I think it was Milo moving which spooked him, and eventually started to run. So when he started running, I managed to get a, hopefully it turns out alright, a sweeping shot of the deer running and a shot of the hen hole itself, which is pretty much in shadow now with how low the sun's dropping. But as you can tell, I'm struggling to talk, getting cotton mouth, so I'm going to stop drinking the last of the water. I've got another few litres of water in the car anyway. So it's just been a memorable trip out, should we say. And
I made it take twice as long as she's done.
Even though it's been a full day hike, Nick has taken her time, bless her, but she's done it. It's the highest in Northumberland, the highest mountain so far, and our second mountain under her belt of the Trig Point Challenge, so nothing should stop her now. Just need to get out there, get some more time in, start getting trig points back under our belts, especially the shorter ones and the lower ones. Mister should be well enough hopefully to take them up there, so let's see what happens. Let's see what's to come. Hopefully it keeps getting better. I have invested in another bit of wild camping equipment recently, so that'll be coming out hopefully when it's a little bit cooler. Nearly slipped and broke my ankle again. So yeah, hopefully get out and get some wild camping done. Keep meaning to get out, got the hammock and everything, been planning on getting out, and then I just get eaten alive every time I'm out. And so in the woods and everything, when I've cut through woodland and stuff, I'm just getting swarmed, so it's not very comfortable. So I think when the temperatures drop, the fire life dies down a little bit, get up onto some of the fells. I need to start testing my tent because I don't know what I can put up with wind wise and weather wise. I think rain and everything should be fine, but the wind I don't know how strong. But I have seen a couple of places when it's dry you can pitch a tent on top of the Cheviot, so just see what happens. I just need to get out there and do it. I think I've got a habit of talking myself into ideas and talking myself out of ideas, so I think it's just going to be a case of just get it done. Even climb Scarfell Pike, probably by the time you see this the video for Scarfell hopefully would have seen, but I now talked myself out of that, and an opportunity arose. We were in the Lake District. It was an hour's drive away to a park to do a decent, I think it was about 13 and a half mile walk, but hopefully you've already seen that video. If not, it'll be in the hiking file or folder, or I'll put a link in the description below or something. So, but anyway, that's enough for me rabbiting on. Super proud of Nick completing that today, especially climbing up to the hen hole and then taking a sharp left straight up the back of the Cheviot, which is pretty steep, and she completed it, got to the top, highest trig yet, so over the moon. Had a good walk. Temperatures have stopped spot on for Milo as well, up to his limits, but he's done really well today as well. So hopefully get Nick's strength and fitness built up and mine as well, and hopefully get back across the Lake District. Might not have finished the trig point challenge, but depending on how the cost of living goes and everything, might start getting some Wainwrights under my belt. I know Scafell Pike and the other hills or mountains that I did are Wainwrights and everything, but I won't start counting them until I tell myself I'm doing the Wainwrights. Don't ask us why. I've done more Wainwrights when I was a kid, between the ages of 10 and 12. I did a lot of hiking with my Uncle John. Went to the Lake District quite often. Done Scafell Pike when I was 10, and a few others. Did Blencathra last year and Helvellyn last year, amongst others. But I think it'll be nice when I start doing them officially, and then I'll start keeping track of them. So, but yes, that's enough for me rabbiting on. Just going to leave the filming here for the day. It's just another beautiful day in the College Valley, Cheviot Hills. Absolutely fantastic day. A lot of achievements today, that's for sure. So yeah, going to wrap it up. Absolutely fantastic day. So as always, thank you very much for watching. This one might be a bit of a longer video than normal, but hopefully it's worth a watch, and fingers crossed, see you on the next one.